To be honest, I was struggling to find the speed of the table and how it rolls, you know, the cushions are a little bit fast. I didn't expect that. I get out of the safes, I win again. A tough rack, I remember, in 4-3. So that gained up my confidence.
You know, I was feeling horrible. I just sort of lost my focus and I lost my stroke, and then you know, I was focused on the wrong things and it just felt like everything was against me. And then sort of the luck switched. When that happened, I felt like the pool gods were on my side, and I thought, you know, maybe this is meant to be my night and this is meant to be my match.
He's a really good player. He's coming in all the big events in the world, and he can do some damage. I know that.
Everyone's a great player, so I'll just go out there, try and play my game, and hopefully the ball rolls my way again and the pool gods are on my side.
Changing the commentary box as Carl Boys joins Alex Lane.
Back in the box with Whispering Carl, former World 8-ball champion, World Cup of Pool winner together with Darren Appleton, Mosconi Cup winner, but this title has eluded you, Carl.
Semi-finals, Alex. That's my best result in this one.
Last year against Niels.
Yep.
Race to 7, winner breaks.
Could have won the Triple
First rack.
Crown.
Method was to break.
Well, never say never. You might be back in it in the future.
You never know. Stranger things have happened.
And sometimes say sometimes.
Now what we got here, we've got Matt Edwards, who in his first 2 matches was the bookies' second favourite. He's got to fancy his chances now, though.
Power break. A shot on the 1. But a steep cut. And for him as a right-hander, difficult to reach. Doesn't need to attack here. He can slide the cue ball off of the 1 and nestle it behind the 8-ball.
Played your shot, and he's played it very well indeed.
Yeah, he's taken out the short rail on the left. And you know, it's not an easy route for Matt Edwards. I would almost consider going here between the 5 and then checking the cue ball with speed and stun and possibly a bit of left spin to have an open 1 ball to target instead of taking the other side of the 5 and then playing for half a ball off of the second rail. Kazabubu, as he's called, considering this one. Not bad either, but the cue ball and 1 will travel in the same direction, so chances for luck diminish there.
Yeah, you just feel like you went that route because it was an easier hit, didn't you? But not necessarily going to be the best outcome.
It's important, you know, if I work with players, I talk about this a lot, to recognize the trap. When are you in a position to win and when are you in a trap and you just try to get out of the inning alive? And Edwards there, misjudging the deflection off of the 1. It seemed straightforward. So when he's lining up his jump, can still make this.
Extension called.
But needs to watch out for the scratch. Pocketing the, and here the shot on the 1. I think he hit it a bit too thick in the pocket and too much speed.
Foul.
That's a pretty poor effort. You
Ball in
should be
hand.
getting over your ball. At least
Start the clock, please.
hit the 2-ball there. So, openly admitted in his last match he lost his way a little bit and seems to be starting this match the same way.
So Kazakis unexpectedly coming back to the table after he left the 1-ball exposed. Winner of the Kremlin Cup in Moscow, former European champion, Euro Tour winner. A high finisher on the biggest podium in the world.
And a player we've not really talked about as a potential winner.
Well, I always call him the dark horse.
You do, to be fair.
Yeah.
We've had many a chat about this, especially at the Moscone.
Yeah, I like his game. He doesn't have the aura of the greatest players, but he has a lot of quality in his game. Good nerve and good technical foundation.
I just always feel I expect him to throw one in. That's my kind of gut feeling.
Throw one in a shoulder.
Yeah, like a miss. In England, when we say throw one in, that means at any given point you might miss a ball you should really get.
Yeah, but I always felt the same about Efren.
I thought you were going to say you then.
No. I mean, like Efren, you know, Efren, you'll get a miss more out of Efren than of another champion. But Efren just steals so many racks.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But Kazakis, unfortunately for him, is not Efren. But he is very solid and a favorite to advance to the semi-finals. But Edwards, of course, will have other thoughts about that.
Kazakis beat Justin Sage first match, and now he's playing another down under.
This big screen next to the table.
Second rack.
And when the
Alexander
players
Kazakis to
are
break.
in vision, they can see
Leading one
themselves
rack to
on the screen. They're checking it out. You can tell.
Now we get to see Kazakis' break. Breaks them pretty good.
A very modest hit. So the one ball going to the side pocket, he'll play for the 2. The 2 that is far, far away. And there is opportunity to get behind the 5 or the 6 with the cue ball. But it will be nigh impossible to protect that 2 ball. I'd look for something else. I don't like leaving the object ball exposed and open.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's just
idea
fine.
there.
That's fine because he's not leaving a pot on. So that is sure, and then a chance to snooker behind the 3.
At first glance, people might be thinking of a combo, but that's not on because you would scratch in the side pocket. Just trying to play distance. He needs this 2 to run on, and he needs help off the 4 ball, which he has got. Can he squeeze in between that 4 and try and make the 2? It looks very tight.
There is a passage, maybe to pocket the 2 or to kick a stick. If not that, then coming off of the short rail.
Extension called.
I don't think it's there.
Yeah,
I don't think it's because that type of angle, that type of opening, it's there if you see it's there at the first glance.
I'm not so sure it's there. That's why he's hitting low on the cue ball. He's trying to hit the rail and get the cue ball to come out on a different path, like squeeze it past the pink 4. We felt it wasn't there, and it wasn't, was it?
Yeah, I think that's elementary for a top player, the ability to recognize when a shot is sitting good and when not. This is underestimated by second or third tier players. Often they'll think it's there, they'll try and copy a shot they saw on YouTube, and they miss it, and they'll think it was their stroke or their delivery. But often the shot is not there.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, because I was thinking what you were saying. Your instinct was kind of like saying it wasn't on, and I was sat there thinking, I don't think it's on. So there's a lot to be said for instinct at the high level. This is kind of a nice shot, isn't it, at 9 ball? Going off a couple of rails to come through the gap between the green 6 and the orange 5.
Extension called.
Or will he spin it with low to right to come the other way?
I think if you hit this high with right spin, you get more deflection. It's not as nice to hit than the alternative, low left.
Good
Like
avoid
so.
the middle. And the 6 is coming into play. Didn't really get into it too good, did he? Fuming with himself.
I sat in the box yesterday with Niels, and this is something I mentioned because I find, you know, I know Niels' game best, but you know, the ability to cheat the pocket, to hit it a bit thicker, make it come off the long rail. Then he would have found the gap between the 5 and 6 with ease. Oh la la, that's a nice one.
Who needs position?
The run of the ball. Listen, the run of the ball. He made a bit of a mess. And he comes out smelling like a rose. Straight in on the 6.
that were Chris Mellon, he'd be telling you he played it. He gets it 9 out of 10. Don't worry about that one.
Oh, stop it.
I'm serious, Alex.
The Magician was downed by Matt Edwards in the opening round. And then Jushin, the Polish European 9-ball champion, eliminated by Matt Edwards. Edwards looking a bit feeble in the opening phase, but after that kick on the 5 and position on the 6, who knows what might happen.
Yeah, I think he's very much a feel type player. He wants to get into the match, which he has done. 1-1.
Easy, ladies, relax, keep on breathing. Just a game of pool.
Well, you're talking about, Alex. If he wins this match, it's more money to spend in the shops.
I like 9-ball. I like 9-ball more than 10-ball. I like the luck, the fact that big swings.
I thought it was only because you can count up to 9.
Looking at the screen. So Matt Edwards will have to break in the 3rd break. The last break before we'll take a quick commercial break. It's always a nice one to win. There's a couple of minutes where the players have to wait. Pass by more pleasantly when you're up and waiting for the break.
Third rack. Matt Edwards to break. 1 rack each.
He catched a roll with that kick shot on the 5. Will that be amplified? Might make a ball here and get a roadmap.
It's very powerful on the break, doesn't he, Alex? Gets right through the cue ball. Lifts his body up through the shot.
Wow.
There you see it. Not quite parking the cue ball. If he had have parked the cue ball around the centre, look at the shot he would have had.
But the good news is that the 2-ball has come back down off of the knuckle of the side pocket, so at least he's close to his work. And with the 4 and 7 and the 3 and 8, he has a couple of shots to choose from. Uh-oh. Hold it. Just in time.
Fairly brave shot to take on there.
By Matt Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you're leaving the 2-ball open, aren't you? There's no real safe place for the 2. But he's judged the pace. I was speaking to him before the match. He says the table's playing a little bit slower than you would think, but he prefers it that way.
Now the 2-railer that Kazakis is playing, often on these type of kick shots, it's about judging a speed. I like to play it soft here with the 3 and 8. Don't know if this is exactly how he had played it, but with this speed hitting the other side of the 2, he would have had a similar chance to get the safety.
Yeah, we would class that one as a pull roll.
A lot of elevation. The closer the impeding ball is, the higher you need to elevate the back of the cue. Oh, oh, that's a strong shot. That's a strong shot. full in the face, stun run through. Advancing an inch or 10 to get that snooker behind the 4 and 7. That's a very, very good shot. Now Kazakis' turn. Should clear the 4 and 7.
Oh, the red 3 ball is definitely favouring Kazakis today at the moment. Comes to his rescue again.
He can play an FE here. And F from Reyes just glancing off the 2 ball. Hit it soft. Oh, oh. Matt Edwards, what was that? There was still time on the clock.
Start the clock, please.
He was even aiming into the 3.
You don't see that very often, do you? Did he have an extension, or was he rushing?
Well, the blood was rushing to his head, that's for sure. That's what pressure does to you. So sometimes it affects the back arm. The smoothness limited by pressure, by adrenaline, and sometimes the perception. I mean, he failed to recognize that he was lining up straight into the 3 ball.
I did notice he was hitting the kick shot very hard as well. He wasn't going to play the shot you were suggesting, to try and glance off it. And
yeah, would that have been your choice of shot?
Yeah, I spotted what you were saying, yeah. And I think, like you say, from Reyes, Pagalayan, I think they get that shot so many times, don't they?
Yeah, and it's a playable shot. Sure. I think it's the nerves, the enormity of the moment for Matt Edwards. He'll be better if he gets time, if he gets opportunities. But it's also, you know, having that night of sleep, advancing to D-Day, the final day, the quarterfinals. How often has he been in a position like this?
Yeah, and it's fair to say Kazabubu had a couple of nice rolls behind the 3 as well, so that's not helped Matt Edwards all the same. Still early doors though. I'm amazed how many players wear a glove these days. I know. Are you a glove wearer, Alex, or not?
Well, sometimes. You know, I don't have any moral issues against the glove. But I do know that since Shane van Boning became the top player, people have been doing it, have started to do it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the glove. I don't mind.
Well, I've seen you wear gloves in the gym.
Yeah, or you know, in the winter when it's cold. I don't really see the need for a glove when you're playing pool. But each to their own.
As you put it, Carl, a couple of rolls for Kazabubu that kept him in the rack. And then that misjudged escape. 2 rails to the 2 ball, but Edwards hit straight into the 3. A ball on hand for Kazabubu, clinching the rack and taking the lead. He's up 2-1 in the 3rd quarterfinal of today.
Fourth rack, Alex Kazakis to break, leading 2 racks to 1.
Alex Kazakis, the more experienced player, the favorite in this match. Wants to make the most of this opportunity at the table. Extend his lead, make it a cruise. I feel it's mostly in the first half of a match that the better player, or the favorite at least, can make the difference. Once it goes to 5-5, anything can happen.
As you see, controlled the cue ball on the break, but could have done with hitting it a bit harder, because usually if you don't, the one ball often stays the top end of the table where it is now.
Very long forehand. He's not going to pull back all the way. Wanted to hit the two fuller and hold the one ball there. That reaction could fuel Matt Edwards' morale.
This is one of them situations where, as you can see, you're dead straight.
Would you jack up? Or? Oh, well, I would jack up if I knew I could hit it like that.
That's what I was just going to say. That's so pure. A bit like David Alcade before when he was jacked up.
Oh, the spot shot.
Yeah, look at that. Just killed the cue ball. Perfect.
Very nice. He has a slight angle. So if I'm trying to come off of the rail somewhat, I would play stun run through, because if you play stun run through, the bit of topspin generates a bit of speed. So if you're just coming to the side, you would need to hit it harder. Spirit that in. Should be enough the distance between the cue ball and the rail.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, he doesn't hold back. Likes to thump the ball. And we're going to get to see another kind of jack-up style shot. Trying to stun in between the green 6 and the orange 5. Perfect shot this, you know.
Testy shot this on the TV table. It's not a draw shot, it's not a stun shot. Well, he can stun to the long rail with a bit of right spin, but he would leave himself an angle on the 5. Can also go directly. I believe if he stuns the cue ball, make it deflect at 90 degrees, he'll miss the 9 and he has a line to go in between the 8 and the rail. Just a high ball, more natural, easier.
Shaking his head a little bit.
But if he gets this after that flawed safety by Kazakis, a great out. He's really come with it.
I think he can just sort of pinch it a little bit. Just hold the white. Wowzers. What has he done there? Trying to force it. I felt like he could have just killed it and just leave a thinnish 8 ball. You know, the pockets are helping the ball sliding. You don't need to get perfect on the 8, do you? Another look at this. Fires it into the top jaw. What do you think, Alex? There?
Well, I think this is going to deflate his morale. He came with the shots in this rack. He made that 1 jacked up. He made a good 2. He made so many good shots. Really to get going in this match, but then that missed 6. A bitter pill to swallow.
It's a bit like Alex's shot there. He was the wrong side of the 6, so he took his medicine. You know, he didn't try anything flash to get right over. He just played the shot, draw back and leave himself long.
The same credo that you described on the shot on the 6 that Edwards had.
Yes.
Take your medicine, take the cut.
Yes.
Use the width of the pocket. Well, the lesson comes after the exam, and I'm not saying the exam is finished, but it is finished in this 4th rack. A let-off for Edwards. He came with the shots, he played himself in a winning position, was about to level the score, but not. This was the shot. And only he knows if he's content with the shot selection that just delivered poorly, or that maybe he could have played what you described, Carl.
Worst thing that can happen is you play 2 matches and get yourself in the quarter-final, and then come to your match and have plenty of opportunities. We're seeing a match before with Shane Van Bonen, kind of got froze out the match, didn't really have many opportunities, even being 3-0 up. Matt Edwards 3-1 down. He's had a lot of table time.
Would you,
5th rack.
when you play,
Alex Kazakis to break.
would that make you
Leading 3
angry in
racks
your
to 1.
chair? Are you a player that uses anger and emotion to fuel yourself?
Yeah, I'd be fuming, me. I'd be fuming because, you know yourself, this game sometimes you don't get your equal share of opportunities. That's just the way pool is. So when you do get them, you have to take them.
Yeah, but the fuming, are you able to use that to feed off of it?
Yeah, and I think one of the best players I've seen, I think Earl Strickland, in his younger days was very good at it. He could sort of get riled up and get the crowd going mad and still perform. Darren Appleton's another one who can seem to do that.
Oh, yeah. Appleton can get those pitch black eyes and then get into the zone. The very deep concentration. He can have his shirt hanging out of his pants.
Chalk everywhere.
Mean and ugly.
And he's got a shot at the 1 ball. Very easy shot. It's just a case of making sure you judge your 2 rails for the 2. This looks very good. Matt Edwards could be paying full price for his mistake on the
Is
6.
actually what you would expect. You're in the quarterfinals of the World Pool Masters.
Yeah, and it's just funny how it works. You don't seem to very often make a mistake like that and get to come back to the table straight away and forget about it. You've almost got to sit there, double the time and stew on it even more.
Sulk in it.
Yeah, and I can see him, he's just staring down at the floor.
Now, I spoke about Darren and his ability to win ugly. With a mean game, you know, getting it done. Albin Ocean is up next against Skylar Woodward in the last quarterfinal of the World Pool Masters. Woodward has been shining. I mean, he played phenomenally yesterday against Gorst. Albin Ocean is actually the first time that I really see him grinding. I see him grinding harder than on other occasions. It doesn't come easy. But he's like really relishing the grind here, it seems.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You know, he did kind of get let off. Joshua Filler, Mr. For his standards, a very easy chance, something that you don't really see with him because he's the man in form. Kind of expect Albin to come out and maybe be a different player today.
He'll be the opponent, or Woodward, of the winner of this match. would be an all-European lineup in the semi-finals. I do want to take the opportunity, by the way, to express my condolences to the Appleton family. I just was informed that his mother passed away.
That's correct. Very sad news. Darren was at a tournament and he's had to fly home, obviously. So we pay our respects there.
Attention called.
Just touching on what you just said there. Possible all-European semi-final with Mosconi Cup places up for grabs. This tournament carries a lot of weight. Phil said yesterday only once has a European or American won this event and not made the team. So that tells its own story.
Extending his lead, Alex Kazakis. Keeping Matt Edwards in the chair. He missed at 6 in rack 4. Cost him the rack and the rack after. He's down 4-1. Introverted, focused. Trying to not get too emotional. You ever do some breathing exercises, breathing routines in the chair?
No, pal, just play.
Just between you and me, you can confess, there's nobody here.
Nothing, absolutely nothing, just play. This game, you know, it's a simple game. You just pot your ball, don't you? So for me, you have to, you know, I know some players do their breathing and whatever else. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying, for me, it's how you approach your shot, because rule number 1 for me is make sure you pocket the ball.
The system of MTB.
Well, he missed his ball, so are you trying
Rack
to tell me
6.
he didn't breathe correctly? I don't know.
Alex Kazakis to break, leading 4 racks to 1.
I know Ralph Suke likes to do his little... I played him last year, actually, and I remember looking over and he was sat in his chair and he had his hands on his knees and I could see him breathing, and I thought, what is this guy doing?
Breathing.
But well, I was breathing. We were all breathing.
Well, what they do is they're centering and focusing their attention and thoughts towards their breathing in order to not distract yourself with negativity or thoughts about work tomorrow or your car yesterday.
Well, I think
To help you stay within the moment.
I think Kazabubu must have been breathing on that break shot, because look how these have come out.
This man.
I'm in a silly mood today, Alex.
Now come over. 2 to the same pocket. Come over far enough. It's in between rolling and stunning, this shot. More difficult than it looked. And that's probably the reason why he didn't pocket it cleanly. Was so concerned about the tip position on the cue ball.
Yeah.
Now again, like an in-between shot. He cannot play it top spin. He cannot draw.
Extension called.
And to stun, there's a little angle there. With the opportunity, I would prefer to go to the long rail, be straight in on the 5.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at that myself, because this is if you can easily pull out of this shot and not get where you want to get to because you're scared of overdrawing the ball. And then you're leaving yourself this thin pot. Cue ball has got a lot of travelling space to go.
Well, the good thing that I would tell myself about this angle is that it's so much angle that the cue ball will not arc forward So that it'll hold line, it'll avoid the 9 without too much trouble.
Looks pretty good to me. Yeah, that's perfect. And Kazabubu, as we call him, on the circuit, he's really punishing that mistake from Edwards. Edwards' last shot was that miss 6 ball.
Hitting high on the cue. Wants to stun past the 8. Oh, missed it, but made it.
Yes, this is a common discussion with a lot of my friends from England. People think, oh, you can't miss on these pockets. Now, when they have a game of pool with me, they then say, oh, I can't believe how difficult this game actually is. Now, on the camera angle, because the 6 was so close to the rail, it's going to swallow it up, isn't it?
Listen, I've played against Davis, Jimmy White, Mark Williams, Darren Morgan, Tony Drago. They all miss open shots. It's just a different ball game. And it didn't look pretty, that 6 by Kazakis, but it did go in. And it kept him at the table, and he's making 2 break-in runs after this miss on the 6 by Edwards. Comfortably leading 5-1 in the race to 7. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back for Rec 7 with Kazakis still at the table.
Thank you, rack 7. Alex Kazakis to break, leading 5 racks to 1.
A firm grip on this match. Alex Kazakis has his eye on the ball, his eye is on the prize. This is just the first step on D-Day towards the prize. 2 more racks and he'll be in the semi-final. Look at that. I see it often today, yesterday, players breaking from the right side. They're losing the cue ball somewhat. And it's drifting down table, but then they're meeting an incoming ball and they get bumped towards center table. Doesn't need to come all the way down towards the 2 ball. Just draw to the short rail, slide out, possibly with a bit of right spin. Just stay clear of the 5 and 8. Nice shot. Don't know if I would have played it like that.
Yeah, he controlled it well. Kind of a problem.
Well, it's better like this because he gets closer to his next shot. So played a very confident shot.
Kind of a problem area at the minute would be this orange 5. Now, is he gonna try and knock him out? He did. Some players wouldn't do that. Some players maybe would have a go at that.
Well, he knew he was favourite to give himself a shot on the 4. But at the same time, he expected, I guess, to not have something on the 5. If he would have made the 2 get on the other side of the 4, it would have been a very nice angle to get into the 5 and 8 off of the short rail. So just to make that clear, coming here and then playing the 4 there, opening the 5-8 cluster from there.
Yeah, and with the 5-ball landing where it's landed, not many options. So, is he going to try and play the 5 into the rail first to make the 9?
I find myself I like combinations. I think I play them well, but this type of combination is so difficult to read.
Oh, he's judged it to perfection. He followed the white line, and it's 6-1.
Very nice shot. Very nice shot. Was not an easy wreck. Had to develop the 5 and 8 and then difficult combination there.
Now, many people who maybe don't play the game would be wondering why he went into the rail first. Why not send the 5 into the 9? Just seems a bit of an easier shot, doesn't it? It's like you feel like it's a bigger target, don't you, coming off the rail that way?
I don't think he even had to cut on the 5.
Oh, you don't think he could have cut it on the 5?
It didn't look like it.
Right.
If I could cut it, my preference would be to cut it.
Yeah?
I find it very difficult to
Judge the
read
rail.
or feel the deflection off of the rail. Is it going to slide? Is it going to bump?
Now, Matt Edwards has been sat there for a long time since that mistake on the easy 6-ball. He's not got out of his chair since.
Thank you. Rack 8. Alex Kazakis to break, leading 6 racks
Mr.
to 1.
Walker directing this third quarterfinal of today. It was in the 4th rack that Edwards missed that ball. He could level the score there.
Wow, so he played 2 great jack-up shots to give himself a good chance in the rack. He missed an easy 6 to draw level at 2-2, and look at the scoreline. Comes out of his chair, 6-1 down, Alex.
That's what they call the seat treatment. Seems like a nice guy, Kazakis, at the table. He's not.
Kazaboo put super glue on his chair.
Now Edwards can bank the 1 past the 6. Could have and should have. Was a big area to send that 1 ball towards, a big area for the cue ball to land.
Possible safety option. Big target of balls to land the cue ball in.
Make sure to not have the 1 ball ending up in front of the side pocket. There's a gap, so the cue ball is in your circle, Carl. But he did it with a thin contact.
Yeah, I think
Too thin a contact.
yeah, he wanted to get the 1 ball sort of way over towards the 8, didn't he? The only good thing is he's not really got many options, even though he could see it. There was no pot, so it was a containing safety shot.
Now this type of shot on the diagonal, it's not a snooker, but it's always difficult. Because if you put the cue ball and the object ball on a line, approximately on a line towards the pocket, the double kiss always looms
Attention
large.
called.
Now especially with the 5-9 and with the 4 and 7. It's difficult to find something from somewhere.
Yeah, you're saying from opposite corner pockets in a line, there's always a kind of double kiss on.
It's big,
Yeah.
especially if you try to go behind the object ball.
I think he's going to try. This thin, this is not easy to judge. And I think he'll be locked up now.
I've mishit this shot. When confidence is low,
Deceleration.
yeah, close to the ball, should get it. But you know, with the slight worry about the one ball speed, can't hit this too hard.
The bank isn't on.
Am I paranoid?
No.
I see risk and danger everywhere.
No, that's just the class of Alex Lely, knowing his game. Switching up, playing it left-handed. Trying to go rail first to pocket the one ball. Probably knew if he missed it, there's always that chance it comes back along. Cue ball off middle jaw. Leaves Matt Edwards a pot.
From 2-1 to 6-1, Kazakis has been clinical, but now in the last rack, he's losing his concentration perhaps.
Yeah, a little bit carefree, are you saying there? Didn't really look at the line, played it left-handed. He's not taking the pot on, so he doesn't feel like he can get on the 2. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good shot. It's a good shot, but if you're down 6-1, he could cut the 1 and bump into the 2. I like taking a bit of risk.
The risk taker.
Well, I think you need to be a bit more forceful if you're losing 6-1.
Because you might not get that same opportunity again. Just like this.
In the opening rack, Edwards snookered himself. He had the first shot on the 1. Snookered himself on the 2, had to jump but failed to get over the blocking ball. It's a bit easier, could still be worried about the cue ball to fly off of the table.
Foul shot, ball
Good.
in hand.
And Wood.
Spotted the danger again, did Mr. Lely.
Start the clock, please.
So, in hindsight, reflecting on that shot, would the answer be to elevate more, jump higher and land sooner? Or jump a bit further and land on top of the 2 ball, the 1 ball?
Kind of like going for the 1 ball earlier on and going into the 2, so he'd have to play the jump
Yeah.
shot. And Alex Kazakis, you know, it's fair to say, after that missed 6 ball from Matt Edwards, he's been clinical. And he's got these remaining balls to be the 3rd man from Europe into the semi-finals. No real problems here, it seems. This is a case of connecting the dots.
Long forehand, but not pulling back all the way. I say that on multiple occasions because so many club players will play with that long forehand, but then on all shots pull it back all the way, opening up the backswing way too much. which makes it harder to hit that cue ball precise. Hey. Losing concentration.
Yeah.
With the finish line in sight. Can make the cut still. Can hit this. He can try and hold the cue ball with low right. Or he could swing it round. Go short, long, long, short.
Short, long, did you say?
No. Long. this is what
That's
I
what you said, right? Oh, he's played it to perfection. Look at this
Nice
for a rescue shot. Short, long, short. That's what you said.
Yeah.
What Alex means when he says short is the two bottom and top rails, and long is the sides of the table.
I'll be doing 3-cushion commentary tomorrow night in Holland for the first time. It's going to be like that for an hour. Short, short, long.
Just remember not to say pocket.
Yeah.
This 9-ball for a place in the semi-finals.
Team Europe member Alex Kazakis pounds away after Matt Edwards missed a 6 in rack 4. From 2-1 to 6-1, then a lapse of concentration, but in the end a comfortable win for the Greek, who advances. He's the 3rd semi-finalist, and he'll wait for the winner of the match between Albanesian and Skylar Woodward. That's the 4th and last quarterfinal, up next after the break.
It's the most comprehensive victory of this year's Dafabet World Pool Masters as Alexander Kazakis goes into the semi-finals after a 7-1 victory over Matt Edwards. Edwards had been the underdog all the way through, but this time he met his match in Kazakis. So we now know 3 of the players through to the last 4. David Al-Kadi won earlier on, so did Eklund Kachi. Now Alexander Kazakis. 1 place left in the semi-finals. Will it be Albanesian or Skylar Woodward?